We've got a number of questions about the topic of discussion over the last few days,
Yes.
and the idea of tariffs and counter tariffs on Ontario's part.
Yes.
One thing that has been discussed is the LCBO not buying American alcohol. Is that something that you're considering? And would that, how far do you go with something like that?
Well, we'll use every tool in our toolbox. As we put a tariff on bourbon last time, LCBO is one of the largest purchasers of alcohol in the entire world. But I'd prefer not to do any of this. I'd prefer to make a deal. As I mentioned, there's two areas that we can move this forward a lot quicker. Making sure we secure our borders is absolutely essential. And secondly, make sure that we hit our 2% commitment to NATO. We're about 1.4% right now, so we should be able to achieve both those goals fairly easily. And we just want to make a deal with the U.S. It was the first time President-elect Trump said, I want to make a deal with Canada. That's good news. And with the energy that I mentioned the other day, that's another tool. But would I rather send them energy, sell them more energy? Absolutely. I spoke to both governors from Michigan and New York. They fully understood where I was coming from. But again, my comment to the two governors yesterday, we want to sell you more energy. We want to make sure that we sign this deal. We want a fair trade. The problem, again, is not Ontario. It's not Canada. It's cheap Chinese parts coming in through Mexico, slapping Made in Mexico stickers on, taking American and Canadian jobs. That's their focus they should be focusing on, not their greatest ally and partner in the entire world.
Afternoon, Premier Elaine Harrison, CBC News.
Hi, Elaine.
So sticking on that topic of energy, Trump responded to your energy threat yesterday saying, that's fine, go ahead and do it. What is your response to President-elect?
Well, what you didn't hear on the tapes after, he says, I really want to make a deal with Canada. That's the first time he's ever said that. And I respect the position he's coming from. I'm sure he respects the position we're coming from. As he also mentioned, he has lots of friends in Canada. Well, we have lots of friends in the U.S. That's the reason we need to make a deal, because we're part of the family, the larger family. 900,000 Americans live up in Canada and 800,000 in the U.S. Canadians live down there. Millions of people cross the border every day. I was speaking to a congressman in Florida, and I just reminded him, Canadians own $90 billion with a B, $90 billion worth of real estate. 3.2 million visitors visit his state every single year from Canada, and they pay $1 billion in taxes. But every congressperson I speak to, or governor or senator, I'm not hearing the same thing as what I'm hearing from the president. So I'm hearing, let's get moving, let's make a deal and get this done. And we'll get through it. So there may be a few bumps in the road. We just have to be prepared.
And on the Team Canada approach, previously you said there was consensus among premiers on things like the need for a new bilateral trade deal with the U.S. or increases to defense spending, but other premiers this week have been disagreeing with you now on the best way to handle Trump, particularly the threat of retaliating by cutting off resources and energy supplies. Does it undermine Canada's position to have these disagreements on full public display? And why did you float that idea without talking to the others first to make sure you were speaking for the team?
Well, let's clarify what you just said. It was very clear that all premiers believe we should hit our 2% when it comes to NATO. So we're all in agreement. We're all in agreement, every one of us are in agreement that we have to tighten up the borders. Where we differ, I was speaking very clearly for Ontario, and I still speak for Ontario. I don't speak for the rest of the country. That's up to the premiers, and we'll be getting together this weekend on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But, if it comes to Alberta or Quebec, that's their choice. They believe in diplomacy. Good luck. Alberta has a surplus of, $130 billion in oil and gas, and that's their, God bless them, good for them. And as for Quebec, I always support Quebec as well. But I'm talking about the electricity that powers 1.5 million homes and keeps companies and businesses open down in Michigan, down in New York, and over in Wisconsin. I was very, very clear on that.
Last reporter.